The 2 Count, where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, and like, and if you're watching the live stream, join us with your comments and questions. And now here are the hosts of the 2 Count, comedian John Russell, and wrestling broadcaster Big Ace.
Oh, good Tuesday evening, everybody. You know, it's game whatever, the World Series. There's all sorts of stuff going on. There's voting. There's people are voting right now. Well, they're probably not voting right now. It's 8:00 in the evening here in the Central Time Zone. But we're happy to be here with you. We hope you're happy too.
Yes,
God love all of you. But
maybe not all of you.
Well, some of you. But point being, we're happy to see all of you, and we're happy to be back with you again this week. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about Hell in a Cell. Just a little quick recap. There were some things there that I was really surprised by, and in a good, and to be honest, in a good way. Anytime I'm surprised, it's good. And then we'll talk a couple of things. AEW. There might be a couple of things, and there was actually something on Raw that I wanted to bring up as well. Yeah. So that'll be good too. Hey, Corey Adam, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, friend. Vote Joe. Let's do it. That's what he's just here to shill for Joe Jorgensen. But by the way, if you haven't done that, please make sure you vote, because voting is important. And without voting, we won't be able to do our show anymore. Well, I mean, we probably will be able to do our show. But anyway, point being, and then after we talk a little bit about the news of the day, what we'll do is we'll go through a quick rundown. We're going to rank the top factions of all time in our minds. And this is, of course, going to be a subjective list, as they always are, because God knows we're not experts. We don't work on one of the dirt sheets. We don't. This is just what we like. I'm old. He's younger. Only still old. But
kind of old. So,
yeah, but I'm older. I'm older, so I remember crap from back when they used to. Oh my God, they snuck in brass knuckles. When was the last time you saw somebody sneak brass knuckles into a match?
I swear I just saw it recently.
No, you didn't.
But what I was going to say is, though, it might have also been when I was watching like a throwback pay-per-view on the night.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
But when's the last time you saw someone pretend they were possessed on Monday Night Raw?
That's oh my God. The first part of it was the bugs. The bugs are on me. Get them off.
The ref called her Mia instead of Reckoning too.
I know. What the hell? It's like way to bust kayfabe wide open there. Well, of course we know who everybody is. There's Slapnuts. There's T-Bone, and there's whatever her name is, and the other guy.
Yeah, Reckoning. I don't know the other guy, but so I mean, like, it's gone like full comical.
Salt and pepper.
It's so bad, but
Well, anyway,
it is what it is. Everybody has. I feel bad for Mia Yim. That's who I feel bad for.
Oh well, yeah, I feel terrible for her. I mean, it's like she's a good wrestler, and all they did was have her flop on the flop around on the ring like she had something wrong. And then I love her. She's like, ta-da. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go right to Hell in a Cell. I got to tell you, I started in late because I was over doing stuff with the grandkids, but I really thought it was very good.
Yeah, it was not a bad show. Not at all.
Couple of exceptions, and they were and some people might say they're nitpicky. But just real quick, I am absolutely loving the Roman Reigns Uso, the Samoan family. I am loving it. I love that Afa and Sika came out at the end. I am loving this more than I can tell you, more than I ever thought I would love anything that Roman Reigns did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. My one gripe about it is it's being wasted on the title, though.
Yeah,
this can stand alone. It doesn't need the title to be involved. And the reason I say that is, if you look at Jey Uso's history, there's really no reason why he should be getting shot into main event titles right now.
Nope.
And especially with the talent that's there right now. So it's just like kind of like, just make this the family thing, but don't drown the title in it, because it is a great angle. And that's the thing, is the title thing kind of gets lost now, because it's like you're more invested in this family dynamic now. There was no title when Owen and Brett were going after it.
Right.
Their main blow-off match. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. To me, it's like, it's great, but I could just, like, you're wasting the title, though. Like, put that on someone else on the roster, and this can still be this.
Yeah.
So, but it was great. It was awesome. And again, I feel like all of this is just really a lead up to they're really banking on Rock coming to Mania this year. So,
boy, well, that would be really something. But I also have to say, hell of a way to start the show off.
Would you want to see that, Rock Reigns? If anybody's watching,
I mean, yeah, anybody, if you're watching, just pop a comment, and I think I might be interested.
I get it, because it's like a guy from this time going against The Rock, but just to me, it would be hard for me to be invested, because I'm always going to be like, yeah, but The Rock couldn't put you over at the Royal Rumble, so like,
right,
you're never going to be better than him.
Yeah.
So no, I would rather see them continue the tease storyline they've been doing for the last 10 years of him and Triple H having one more go.
Yeah,
that I'd be all in for. But you know, it is, and I get they're both getting old, but if you're going to bring it back,
yeah,
we're going to get, because that's the other thing, you're going to get some great promos out of it.
Oh my God, yeah,
I'm not going to get that with Roman.
Nope. And I'm trying to think of things that I recalled as we went through. I mean, obviously I don't remember the order. Here's the matches I remember. I remember that first one. I remember Otis and Miz and the whatever the hell that was. I remember Sasha and Bayley, which was fantastic. And I remember the McIntyre and Orton match. What else? They only had like 5 or 6, didn't they?
Well, they had the 24/7 championship, Truth and Gulak on the
I don't give a shit about that.
But I gotta say, look, I like Drew Gulak though, so it's sad that they could be doing more with him. I was thinking that him and Tozawa both are so talented, and they're just not being used to their potential. And R-Truth though, like, I love what he's doing. Like, that's just never gonna get old. And it's cool that he found a spot that he can just kind of settle in, and still be on TV. Yes, you had the Universal Championship with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. That was the I Quit match.
Yeah.
You had Elias and Jeff Hardy, which was just,
hey, Carl, how you doing, buddy?
Brother man. He says The Rock and Triple H, because I don't know if he knows who Roman Reigns is.
Triple H has to be inserted into every match at this point of his career.
Yeah, he most definitely does. Jeff Hardy beats him by disqualification. Otis. So here's the Otis and the Miz with the Money in the Bank on the line. Huge turn with Taki turning on his boy Otis. You kind of saw it coming. Like, you can see he was gearing up for it during the match. Whatever. Well,
I'm not a fan of having him win Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. I'm not a fan of having him win Money in the Bank in a theatrical, and then take it away from him. I mean, I don't understand why they ever gave it to him then, because Miz was in that match.
Vince liked him then. He was over, and now he's bored.
Now he's not.
But it's funny. It's like, when you had a good thing going, then you split him and Mandy Rosa.
Yeah.
So this is on you, bro. You don't like what he's doing now. And now we're going to have the blow off of him versus Tucky. And it's just,
who cares? I mean,
they never got a legitimate run as a tag team on the main roster.
Right.
Cared about.
Which is, hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Chris, I hope you checked out Weston and I's episode this last week. If not, check it out on YouTube. We'll have another one next week. Yeah. So Otis, them. Yeah, Bayley and Sasha, man, that was a match of the night for me.
That was, my God, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, then spell it right next time. No, I'm kidding, Yarl. Love you, brother.
This is not spell check.
I know, I'm kidding.
You're not kidding. You're. I know. I've
I
seen
went
you
to the same high school. We both don't know how to spell.
I know. But I've seen you get worked up with people if they spell things wrong on here.
That's
You're like a grammar heel, is what you are.
That's not true. I
It
graduated
is.
with a D average.
You're cracking that stuff all the time.
Oh, I wish I was smart enough to be able to crack that stuff all the time. Dude, I still have to like look at my license to remember my birthday. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that was just a great match.
It was.
And it was a good way to cap off Bailey's run as champ.
Yeah.
For that run. And man, I feel they utilized the actual sell the most as well, but it didn't overtake the match either.
Right. The Meteor, when she climbed up the table, was awesome.
Oh, that was so
I mean, and they both of them didn't hold anything back. It was really, really good.
That's what's great when you get people who in their real lives are best friends and have a passion for this, which is what it brought them together. And then you see them become stars together. And then you see them work together. It's like, they're going to go all out. They did it in Brooklyn. I mean, that match of the year, easy. And I don't even remember. That was like 3, 4, 5 years ago now. So yeah, I knew that they were going to steal the show. I called it. Anybody?
I was going to say, I saw your text and I thought, well, this guy knows what he's talking about.
I got your text too, where you said you forgot it was Hell in a Cell. Dude, I woke up right when it started. Like I kind of forgot to, and I passed out on the couch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley versus Slapjack, which was just whatever.
Throwaway.
Like, why didn't they do the 4-way elimination match on the pay-per-view? Would have been more.
Excuse me. I don't know, because they were saving it for
because of Raw.
I don't know.
McIntyre, and then McIntyre, Orton.
That was a really good match too.
And I think
I got to be honest with you. I was very surprised that Orton won.
I kind of wondered if it would happen because there was those rumors of him going into Mania as champ or into Mania season as champ.
Yeah.
Then there was talk of he'd probably I think the original plans, and I could be wrong, this is just what I've read around, is that he was going to maybe drop it like before because Edge was going to come back hopefully for Rumble. He drops the title before Mania, so him and Edge go off into their thing. Roman then gets a chance to win it back at Mania and finally.
You mean McIntyre?
Or sorry, McIntyre in front of the.
Not that I want to correct you.
No, you're fine. In front of the.
You corrected Carl.
Dude, do you know we're family? We're brothers. So.
I do, dude.
Blood, bro, blood. Same mom, different dad. He knows what we're talking about. Yeah, so it'd be a nice way for McIntyre to finally get his moment, because that's the thing here. If he never gets the belt back, how bad do you feel that he never had his moment in front of the fans?
But honestly, who else are they going to give it to?
Yeah, here's the thing. We're very close to WrestleMania season already.
Yeah.
We are literally 2 pay-per-views away from the Rumble. We have the next big one, Survivor Series. What is it? Money in the Bank in December?
No, it's not Money in the Bank.
I don't remember what they do in December, guys. Sorry. And then January is a Rumble. So this could be putting the briefcase on Miz is a nice way to maybe have that insurance of this is how we take that title off Orton. This is how we get him and Edge together. And this is how we get McIntyre his moment. Because regardless of what's going on in the world, pandemic-wise, there's going to be an audience in Tampa Bay in April.
In some way, shape, or form, yeah.
There's going to be people there.
Yep. So, anyway. But it was overall, I like the here's the thing. I also like the fact that it wasn't a very long pay-per-view.
I appreciate that now.
I mean, it is, and this is maybe one thing that the pandemic has done for us, and maybe for them. Let them know that people are just as happy, if not happier, to have a shorter pay-per-view with fewer matches, because then they mean more than this. It's and then when it's almost like we got to get this guy in there, we got to get this guy a match. How about you wrestle this bottle of gin?
Yeah, another thing too with this is I hope they follow this format going into shows with fans when that time finally comes and travel begins for them.
Yeah.
But what I hope they do is I hope they do it right. And they kind of were doing it, I think. I don't know if time of shows were there yet, but as far as what they were doing around the show, the weekends of was getting there to where the 4 big ones were treated like the 4 big ones.
Yeah.
They all usually had a takeover before them. They all usually had some sort of fan access during the weekend. And then obviously Mania, you got the week-long events. So to see them give props to their 4 original shows like that, and I would like, and now you're seeing Rumble is in a base, or the Rumble's now the last 2 years been in a baseball stadium where that used to just be in an arena.
Yeah.
So I think they could get away doing those big 4, making them a bigger deal, and then maybe doing not arena but a mid-level stadium.
Yeah.
Shows and really pay the dues to the 4 original shows that made them WWF/E.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree with you.
It's been great.
You get no argument on that.
One thing though, I still wish it was not a red cell. That's just
what are you gonna do? The old blue,
or just go back to the actual steel cage look.
Well, steel cage, but you go back if you go back to those matches with Hogan, they used to have the blue rebar.
You know what I always remember is him going to the ring. I think it was him and Boss Man were about to, or him and a big guy like that. I don't remember.
Bundy. Probably King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, I think it was him and King Kong Bundy, and that was when No Holds Barred came out. So when he got to the cage, when he was doing I'm a real American, and then when he got to the actual cage, Zeus from the movie was piped up on the corner at the door, and all of a sudden Hogan's just like, oh, he's here. And it was like, I was a little kid then, so it's like, oh my God, it wasn't a movie, it was real guy. And then, a couple years later, it's like, oh, this is all a movie. This is all fake. I love it. I still love it though.
Yeah. All right.
When they brought Zeus in.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
I mean, it wasn't good, but it was fun. That movie. That movie was a whole lot of fun bad.
Yeah. All right. I'm not going to go through a whole lot of stuff from the other than we talked about it already a little bit. Poor Maya Kim having to throw a fit on the mat as a distraction, and that was her. That's how she earned her paycheck this week.
Yeah, I really. I said it last night. Mia Yim could stand alone on the women's roster. She doesn't need to be in this fact, and they're dealing this gimmick.
And I don't even know why they got a woman in it.
They haven't done anything. She hasn't attacked any women.
She hasn't done anything.
Well, let's take that back. She acted possessed last night.
That's right. So there was that, and I don't know why. I mean, and here's the thing, man. They're getting the crap beat out of them all the time now.
Yeah.
Now they're going to do some stupid crap behind the scenes. They are, because that's what Ali keeps saying. Oh, well, all I need is a little bit of this and I can come up with. So that he's going to come up with some crap to try to split up the Hurt Business. And it's going to be some film or some garbage that they use. But
it'll be interesting to see, though. Rumor is Vince has lost interest on them. So we might actually just see that.
Well, imagine Vince losing interest in something stupid after the fans have.
Mm-hmm. I know. Raw Underground.
Slap. I don't know, man. I
just hope that if it ends, these people can at least get a shot on the main roster.
Yeah, they won't.
I know. At least
they won't.
Yeah,
I think we should devote part of next week's show to our favorite retribution moments.
I mean, we can. Or positive or anything, but we can rip on them a little bit, I guess. I mean,
they're ripping. Hey, dude, here's the thing: they're ripping on themselves at this point.
Oh, I know. I've heard other shows that do that, but they do it like on like AEW and like their entire show and roster, and it's just like, you guys aren't even fun anymore. Like, you literally just shit on one product over the other. Like,
I'm not. Hey, look, I'm not saying that I'm shitting on them. I'm just saying in terms of here's this huge production that they did. They made a big deal out of it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. The tease was insane, and the fact that they tie it in with Ali even way back.
The hacker did this.
The hacker? Who's the hacker? Everybody wanted to know who the hacker was. Nobody wanted to know who the hacker was. And then here's Retribution, and it's 30 guys, and then they whittle it down to 6 people, and then they pull Mercedes Martinez off, and now it's only 4, but they put him, and it's like,
the funny part is he even had a horrible review. Like, it was just mid promo, and then we're gonna do the truth to be told. Oh yeah, by the way, I was the hacker, and then I'm gonna do this, and then it's like, yeah, well, first of all, we already knew that, dude. We knew that when you disappeared, but we knew, like, what? Anyways, yeah, it's so comical. You know what I said? I compared what we saw last night with people screaming, with the Mia Yim screaming and the whole "I'm possessed, the bugs." I said something on Twitter about it last night, and I was like, so let me get this straight. This is perfectly great performing arts in the wrestling world. But the same people who were praising this, you guys a few days ago, literally ripped to shreds MJF and Chris Jericho for taking a chance and doing this musical number. And it's like, I can appreciate if you don't like it and you're just like, I don't like it. But to the level of hate I saw from people on that, and then we're fine with what happened last night, was like,
yeah. There's and that's the way that our world is now.
It's so
for a lot of people, there is no gray area. It's either this or that, and there is no in between. It's either this or that. And it's not just with wrestling, it's with a lot of stuff. Imagine if you were going to vote, it's either this or that.
Well, I mean, bridge that gap. That's what
I'm but the point being that that's in the wrestling world, that same mentality persists.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's like I said, I remember when WWE bought WCW and it all just became one show.
It broke my heart.
And at that time, I was just like, yeah, cool. Because I was a WWF guy. So I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. I watched them mainly anyways. But then when things got stale for WWE after that, and it was like, this is all I have.
Yeah.
And it was someone else was back, like WCW, so I could at least watch something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So again, I'm a fan. And yeah, I'm not going to agree. I'll be the first to say that there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the AWM. Like, commentary needs to kind of tighten that shit up. The women division seems non-existent. Sheeta was on Dark tonight. That's your women's champ. What are you?
Oh my god!
Bro? Like, what are you doing? And yeah, they took a chance with that musical number, and not everybody liked it. But at the end of that show, it was entertaining.
It was
more entertaining than some very talented wrestler having to wear a stupid mask and roll around in the ring pretending she's being possessed. Like, come on.
Oh, and by the way, I still hate Elias.
You don't like his new song, man? It made it on the #1 spot on that soundtrack chart last night. I saw it.
I know comedians that have been #1 on iTunes too. It ain't hard.
Oh,
it ain't hard.
I was thinking when the song plays when he comes to the ring, and I was like, this is totally the song you hear from that local band that you're like, hey, they got talent. Maybe they could down the line turn this into something. And then like 10 years later, you see them and they're playing the same song, and it's like, they didn't go anywhere.
I know that the word is that Vince loves the guy. There's just something about him that I don't like, and I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it.
I think too, the Jeff Hardy feud's not helping him. I think people were done with that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just when your overall consensus from fans when that all happened was, yeah, but Sheamus hit you, not him. Like, people didn't want that storyline. We don't need it. We don't want it. And I'm kind of tired of every angle Jeff Hardy's in now involves someone poking fun at his drinking in his past. Like, well, just let it be done.
That's what you call beating the old dead horse, or the old wild turkey, or
he's cool with it. At a certain point, you gotta just on your own be like, hey,
come on,
real life problems for you, bro. We're gonna ease up.
Yeah,
but whatever.
The only other thing that I'm going to bring up about Raw was that when Bliss was in the Firefly Funhouse and opened her eyes with them crazy contacts. Oh my god! I mean, and that's
dude, she's killing it.
Yeah,
the entire Firefly Funhouse, she was amazing on. Played it perfect. Played a perfect counterpart to Bray and the Fiend. And then the moment of bliss
that was great.
Killed that too. And when she sat on the ring post, just
laughed.
Meanwhile, McIntyre was just stomping on Orton.
Yeah,
and him even being like, "Yeah, you just sit there." Like it was and then the lights go. Like it was that was a perfect segment. How they go from here is where this is going to be interesting, because in my eyes, I am ready to see. And I know some people were like, well, the last time wasn't that great. And the callbacks, by the way, in the Firefly Funhouse segment to the Orton feud was awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it got me jacked for Orton versus The Fiend for the title with Bliss in the corner.
And see, but
I don't need McIntyre in it, though.
No, and I don't think he will be. But here's the thing. I think, and I appreciate those callbacks and all that stuff. And I think that's for the real fans, for the that are looking for that kind of, they want those loose ends tied up. They remember those things. A lot of people don't remember what the hell that shit is. A lot of people don't remember what the whatever the hell you call that, the sign thingy, brand thingy, whatever it was, with the X. A lot of people don't remember that from that match.
No,
the burning the house match. And
see, I got it like right away. Oh no, don't put that up.
Oh, but if I don't put it up, then I can't read it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's just an ad.
Oh, well,
they're telling us we need to buy followers.
Nah, we don't.
Waka Skizzer 14 bot. We don't need to pay you money.
Bot.
We'll get our own followers. Thank you.
I like bots.
I don't like that bot though. Oh, actually, say bot though. My bad.
I'm pretty sure it's a bot.
I didn't know there was over 14,000 Taskawak Skizzers. Anyways,
007 is 14. He's 14 years old, and then he's 007, so he's like a 14-year-old spy. Come on, man. Have you never been on Twitter? I mean Twitch?
Apparently not. Is that really like how it works?
Shit, yeah. Why not? You come up with your own fucking reasons.
Oh my god. The social media is just not for me anymore, I think. Anyways, dude, that whole thing was just great though. Yeah. The fire, like when he looked at the picture of the burning house, dude, I was like, yep. Yeah. He's gonna come out. And it is what it is. But I was a little disappointed when the McIntyre's like, I'm coming out there. Because then I was like, he's going to ruin that segment. But it worked out.
It worked out really well. It worked out really well because I love the fact that Orton would rather go and take some more ass kicking from McIntyre than the Fiend.
Right. Which also, man, that makes Fiend look tough going into it for him, because
that's good stuff.
The dude who just beat the dude who beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, for sure. So, some good spots, a lot of just blah, deer and raw, but man, Alexa Bliss, if you ask me, stole the show last night.
Yep, I agree. All right, we got. I don't know what the hell's going on with AEW's coming up tomorrow.
Should we do our factions first, and then
let's do that. Let's do that. So I didn't. I had a doctor's appointment that I had to do virtually. Folks, if you've had to do a doctor's appointment virtually, doctors are not great with see, I can do this. I could do this. I could get any of you people on here right now if I wanted to. I don't want to. But if I wanted to, the video conferencing, all of that business, I know how to do all of it, right? And so with my healthcare provider that I use, it's Fairview. Which is up here. Those of you people that are down in the Rochester area, Mayo Clinic yourself. But anyway, the point being that I could do it, right? And so I'm sitting here waiting, and they say, "Oh yeah, you just go in, get in there, get it all ready to go." And if he's not busy, if he gets done early, he might come and talk to you early. I'm like, "Great, super." And so I'm sitting there for a half an hour, and then my phone rings. "Oh, did you not get my text?" And I'm like, "What the?" It's the doctor. He just wants to do it on the phone. He doesn't want to, like FaceTime. He doesn't want to do the whole thing that I got all. Anyway, the point being, so I don't have an intro for our faction thing. But sooner or later, I'll get these all rigged up and done, and we'll do that. But tonight, folks, we are going to talk about what we think are the greatest factions of all time.
Or just our top favorites.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, because it's our opinion, and so if somebody else has an idea, they can certainly let us know in the comments as well. We'll start with honorable mentions because we both have I'll let you know this. I'll give you a little sneak preview. We both have 3 honorable mentions. None of them are the same. We both have, in our top 3, we have 2 that are the same. One's in the same order. So this will be interesting, and because I already know what they are. But let's start with your any of your first honorable mentions, Aries.
Well, one thing I'm gonna say is I just realized I didn't have New Day mentioned at all. I feel like they should be mentioned whenever you talk about factions. So there's my mention for New Day.
Dude, I agree with you. There again, this is when we go through these lists and we try to figure this stuff out. There are continually, when you start to think about it, people that you totally miss. I mean, obviously, the Shield was a great faction. Neither of us are going to mention the Shield.
No, I was not going to mention the Shield.
But the reality is, whether you like it or not, I mean, they should be mentioned. The Spirit Squad was a great faction.
Comical for sure.
There you go.
Comical for sure.
Anyway.
So first one for me was Ministry of Darkness. And the reason why I didn't put them on any sort of list is because it didn't last long before they became the corporate ministry, which to me, Ministry of Darkness, corporate, it's all the same thing. They just added some people. So I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the kind of creepy Undertaker angle, and a lot of cool people came out of it. You know what I mean? The Brood, which Edge and Christian ended up having great careers after that. APA we got because of that, not directly because of that, but I mean, well, yeah, kind of because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was just a cool thing, and it was cool to see Taker, who was primarily in his whole career been a solo guy, unless he was in a tag team, actually be in a group.
Yeah, and of course, Big Vis,
Big V, Big Daddy V,
or Mabel.
That's scary, man.
Or Mabel. One of my honorable mentions. And I'm going to pop up the Bullet Club. And I'm going to pop it up not because it was like a who's who of who didn't get signed by WWE for a long time.
Really was.
And you know, but it crossed over not only in New Japan, it crossed over into ROH. And so I mean, this was a wide-reaching faction. And as guys got better contracts and went to bigger promotions, got better deals, they would bring other people in there. I mean, Kenny Omega was in there. Cody was in there. Marty was in there. And of course, Finn Balor, as Prince Devitt, was the guy that started the whole thing. So I think that they need to be mentioned for sure. And also get a picture. And that was the best one I could find.
Yeah, there's probably tons of different variations of that group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My next one was Evolution. Evolution. I mean, it's Evolution, dude. It was like the modern Four Horsemen. And in my eyes, it really made Orton and Batista.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they didn't have Evolution, who knows where those two careers would have went. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. I liked it. It brought back that whole styling and profiling feel, you know.
It sure did. My next honorable mention is one that I don't think you're probably even going to remember, and if you do, you're going to go, I don't believe this was ever a thing. But it's the Dangerous Alliance from the AWA and NWA, run by Paul E. Dangerously, later to be known as Paul Heyman. And look at that lineup right there. You've got Larry Zbyszko, Ravishing Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and a stunning Steve Austin with hair. Mm-hmm. They weren't around long either, but I just wanted to mention them because I remembered them fondly from Georgia Championship Wrestling. And I also remembered that at the time, it was this group of guys, but every single one of them went on to be much better than where they were.
Yeah, dude, Zbyszko was the man, dude.
Oh my God. I remember him from the AWA, and of course he was Larry the Legend.
Hell yeah, dude! I like I said, I got to meet him and Nick Bobwinkle together.
Oh wow!
At the same time, and just kind of for like 5 minutes shot the shit with both of them outside of a show at a fairgrounds. Like it was like It was like, man, what's going on right now, man? These guys are like not only wrestling legends, but especially in this state, they're
yeah,
they're legends. That's AWA guys right there. So
yeah.
dude, that was just, that was a shining moment for me in my fandom of being a wrestling fan.
I got you.
Yeah, my next one, Freebirds, man.
They made rules about them.
They made rules about them. They made amazing music backstage. I mean, what they're doing with Elias is what they were doing. But I mean, they were great. They were great. We got Michael P.S. Hayes out of it, wearing the craziest suits, becoming an agent after all this. And,
yeah.
I mean, they were on a stage of their level on their own. And what was great though is they were able to be that heel to some just great faces over the years. I mean, they had great stuff. Like Rhodes,
the hugest feud they ever had was with the Von Erichs.
Yep, the Von Erichs. So I mean, it's like they were in the mix of it with some of the best in the world.
They absolutely sure were. All right,
look at that hair, man.
I know.
Hey, it's too bad you
popping back up there.
Crap things in your career, but
so also, I just want to point out, this is the original version. They also had Jimmy Garvin was in there with him for a while too. If you remember the dark-haired, bearded character, he wasn't as good as the rest of them. I don't remember Bam Bam, and I don't remember the other guy.
Yeah,
I can't think of the names, but you don't need to, because of the Fabulous Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes, baby.
Yeah.
My last honorable mention, his Man, It's a Nation. And I like the Nation also with Mark Henry in it. I couldn't find a picture with Mark Henry in it.
I'll tell you what, I totally forgot about these guys. That's a good call.
I mean, this is a great faction. You got Farouk, you got D'Lo, you got the Godfather. I don't know what he called himself at that point. I don't even remember. And of course, you got The Rock, and Mark Henry was in there as well. But let's be honest.
Was it Kama?
Say again?
Kama?
That might have been. That might have been it. But here's the reason that this faction is up here. First of all, these guys all went on and did better than this group. But obviously the breakout star was The Rock. And without this faction, I don't know that The Rock has a platform to become The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
I think he'd be the first to say that if it wasn't for the Nation, he wouldn't have had the career path he had.
Absolutely. So while they were not as influential as our top three, they certainly were a breeding ground for one of the biggest stars in wrestling of all time.
Dude, so one of my favorite moments still to this day with the Nation is when Rock gives them all presents and they all get Rolexes except for Rook. He just gets the free picture of The Rock. It makes me laugh so much just because it's like, yeah, that's who The Rock was then. That was the gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like cocky son of a bitch and I'm the best. Oh, yep. I loved it. So we're into our top three now, right? Our official top three. My favorite top three factions. Maybe some say some of them are top three just in the industry, but these are just my favorite three. Mm-hmm. So my third is literally, I like all the talent on it, but it is for the namesake, and that is the Heenan family, because Bobby Heenan is one of I'd say is the best wrestling character, and by far the best talker ever in the wrestling industry.
And I will say this photo is not nearly representative of everybody that he represented.
No, not at all.
As the Heenan family. But of course you got Andre, you got King Kong Bundy, Paul Orndorff, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, and Big John Studd.
Yeah.
And there were so many more that he worked with.
Oh, I mean, everybody remembers, dude. I actually rewatched a couple weeks ago. I rewatched the Royal Rumble. I don't remember the year, maybe 92, 93, when Flair won it.
Oh, yeah.
From entry number 2 to the end. And it was Perfect was at the ring, and Heenan was on commentary, but obviously was invested in Flair. The commentary through that entire Rumble just how he was always able to bring it back to Flair. And no, why is he doing that? No, get on the floor, Flair. Like,
yeah,
he was able to call that Rumble to where you never realized how much he talked about Flair, but he did, and it was just genius.
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, that whole promo at the end of the Rumble when he wins, I mean, Flair with the whole the tear in my eye and perfect, and Heenan behind him just smiling and celebrate. Like, oh, it was so great. And just other people. I almost want to say, what tag team was he with? He was with another tag team.
Oh God.
I can't remember who. He was with Hercules.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. He's so many people, and all of these guys that he represented were all major players in the heel.
They sure were,
and they all played parts in big feuds. So, and I mean, like, one of the biggest moments ever in WrestleMania history will be Andre getting slammed by Hogan, losing him, and him and Heenan on that golf cart with people. With Heenan with his coat over his arm, with his head down, shaking it in disappointment, and people just throwing shit at Andre the whole time. This man is still just waving at the fans as he goes out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's history.
It is. Yeah. Nobody like Bobby Heenan. And God, what a talented guy. All right. So my number 3 is going to be the same as somebody else's number 2. So we'll just bring them both up right now. And there it is, D-Generation X, the original version. You know, when you talk about factions, these are the guys that save the company.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally saved the company.
Yeah. And people will give Austin the credit of that Attitude Era. They were the ones that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Died.
They were the ones that went to the line so that everybody else knew they could follow to that point. If they weren't going to that line and sometimes crossing it, and if you recall back in the day, it was like holy. I mean, I was fairly, I don't want to say old, but I was a young adult at that point, and I thought, holy cow, I can't believe they're doing some of this stuff on here.
Yeah, I was in like middle school and high school during the Attitude Run, and it was like, what?
Yeah,
this is not what I was watching. This is so cool, man. Yeah,
it was. They made it cool, and you know, you hear the stories from Road Dogg and Mr. Gunn that they sort of didn't have anything to do, and it was just kind of a happenstance that they happened into the group anyway.
Yeah, you know, that some people just luck in, like Orton and Batista with Evolution. I mean, just right timing. The thing about this group, though, it's like you said, it ushered in the Attitude Era. It redefined Triple H's career. It redefined Shawn Michaels' career. To be honest, if he wasn't a part of this of the clique, which then Michaels and him turned into DX once they left, who knows if he would have ever left the whole Hunter Hearst Helmsley persona.
Right.
Maybe he would have went back to Terra Rising. Who knows? But I mean, and then, you know, again, the things they did on TV, the feuds they had, the years it lasted, even in the reincarnation years when Michaels and Triple H would reunite and bring the gimmick back.
Yeah.
They were also one of the first factions that had a female that ended up becoming a legitimate player.
Yeah.
Which at that point, when you brought a woman on like that looked like China, at that point, it was kind of more of a gimmicky, like, look at her. But that was all it was.
She was the Intercontinental Champion, for God's sake.
Intercontinental Champion. I think the first woman in a Rumble. Maybe not the first, but first in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, probably one of the only intergender matches we've seen on WWE, her and Jericho. So, I mean,
yeah,
they've done a lot. They've done a lot for the wrestling business.
My favorite and most memorable thing about DX was when they took the Jeep down to the WCW show. And that will always be in my memory as holy cow, what in the hell? It is so great to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I think JBL, if you go to it's either Facebook, Twitter, or his YouTube. He has a video recently from a couple weeks ago, him and Mr. Briscoe, Jerry Briscoe, having a chat and talking about that actual night
Mm.
and how the reaction was, because apparently when they all came back, Vince and everybody there had a lot of concern that it was only an hour away from the arena, that after their show they may come down and there may be some issues for the WWE guys leaving the arena. And they kind of talked about how like all the talent was like out of nowhere, was just like ready to go in case something happened. It's great though. Check it out. It sounds like JBL and Mr. Briscoe are going to be doing some chats here and there and putting them out there. So
Very cool. I also recall hearing about that story, and I can't remember who it was. One of the WCW guys was like, "Oh, we wish they would have knocked on. We'd have let him in and say, hey, how you doing, buddy?"
Yeah,
they were like,
they say that, but then Bischoff was like, "Don't get him out of here."
Here's honestly, here's what I think. I think probably Hall and Nash could give a shit. They were getting paid. They didn't care.
Yeah, those two didn't care. But WC management was like, no, shut that damn door. Because they knew too, like, they'd maybe get the ratings for a minute. Well, they even wouldn't, because it'd be on WWE TV.
Yeah.
But no one's watching them next week. They're gonna watch WWE to see what they're gonna say about it. So
yeah,
it was a lose for him.
Yeah, it was. All right. Well, my number two is certainly these two factions go hand in hand, even though they weren't in the same promotion. But I got to pick the NWO as my number two. And the reason I do is because I was a WCW guy all the way. I was, all of my favorites from WWF were coming over to WCW, and I will tell you, I used to watch religiously. And when Hall came over the first time, I got to see that live, and I was like, what the hell's he doing there?
Right.
Because back then, there was the internet, but it wasn't nearly what it is now. And I had no idea whether these guys had a contract up or what any of that business was. And I will always go by that Bash at the Beach. And God love the only gripe I'll ever have with Bobby Heenan, and I will bring it up all the time, is when he almost blows his out. Could Hogan be the third man? Why would you fucking say that, Bobby? Let him.
Like, I hate this place. Screw you guys.
He probably was.
I kind of do think deep down Bobby was like, because he wasn't happy. He wasn't agreeing how they did business. I do, and WWE just took such well care of him that I think down inside he was like, okay, well, I'll spoil your little moment.
Now, I want to say this. Obviously, these are the four mains. X-Pac was not the actual third. I mean, the Giant was the third one.
The Big Show was.
Well, yeah, but he was known as the Giant down there in WCW. So it was Hall, Nash, Hogan, and the Giant. And then they got mad at the Giant and beat the crap out of him. But point being, for about the first 9 months, well, obviously 83 weeks, the NWO was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And until everybody in WCW wanted to be in the NWO, they were there was stories that the Disco Inferno wanted to be in NWO, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're like,
anytime
Buff Bagwell could get into the NWO, but they let everybody in, and then it became just a watered down chunk of crap.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between that and the Bullet Club, because the Bullet Club recycled through, but the factions are thought of differently in Japan than they are here.
It's more of a club.
Yeah.
Where here the faction is the people who made it up. Over there, it's more of like, no, it's the club. Anybody can come in and get kicked out.
Yeah.
It's a different feel. I enjoy looking back at the NWO stuff. I remember watching it. I remember I was invested when Hall was making those appearances, and I would be flipping back to watch it.
Yeah.
And then when Nash started doing it, I was just kind of like, meh, because for some reason, I just wasn't a Big Daddy Cool guy. I think it was because I was always a Shawn Michaels fan during that time.
Oh, sure.
Those two had their thing. I was obviously well, yeah, Michaels is better than you. Get out of here, tall guy. I don't care about you and your long hair. F off, bro.
There you go.
And when he popped up, I was just like, whatever. Don't even care. And then at that point, I was in middle school, high school. I was on to what wrestling really was. So by that point, I definitely wasn't a Hogan guy anymore because I grew up.
Yeah.
So, when he did the big turn, it was like, oh, but I don't know. Just I had grown up at that point as a WWEF guy that at that point it was still kind of hard to switch over. Plus, to me, that was when Michaels was getting going and
Yeah.
the whole screw job and Taker was always a sell for me because he's always been one of my all-time favorite. So for me, it was really always hard. Like I very rarely watched a Nitro all the way through and then would flip back. It was always watching Raw, going back to breaks to see what they had going on, and then I would watch like the last hour.
Gotcha.
But so that because I thought about it for NWO and I was like, I mean, it's groundbreaking what it was.
Yeah.
But it also, to me, it didn't last long because then on top of that, when they started having like 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 guys, I was like, that seems like it's not even a faction anymore. It's its own thing now. Like,
And then, because they were doing their own pay-per-views,
and I got that, but I don't know. To me, I just didn't like it.
They had their own referee that cheated.
So, what was it? Nick Patrick?
Yeah, Nick Patrick. It's like the term they jumped the shark. They did. I mean, there's no question that they did. But for that first 6, 8, 9 months, they were killing it.
It's still enjoyable watching the turn for Hogan and just all the trash. And the first few weeks after that on Nitro, all the trash.
Oh yeah.
And then when they were doing those stuff to the Horsemen, like, whoo,
yeah,
they were getting some people hot, man.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And speaking of number one faction, we both agree on this one. There they are. Fabulous.
The faction of all factions.
Now, I don't know. So here's the question for you. This is in my mind, obviously, the first faction that was ever ultra cool for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this right here is the faction that I recall. Although there have been numerous iterations of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I do remember watching the original. Like seeing things about him. Like my first inclination of who the Horseman was hearing things about them when I was younger. But then seeing them in WCW when that was kind of getting on TBS, because we had one of those black boxes that had all the channels, so I was able to see everything.
Yep.
So watching it then, seeing who these guys were, I was around more after the early days, especially when they started hitting the stride with NWO and all that.
Yep.
By that time, I was a wrestling fan, so I would look back and man, when you go back to the beginning till now, or till their whole just journey as this faction,
yeah,
I mean, these four original together with JJ Dillon being that fifth member as the manager was just, I mean, there was no one better than these guys.
No, and the three constants were always Flair, Arn Anderson, and JJ. But I know that they had Lex Luger.
Yeah, see, those days I didn't like.
Lex Luger was in there when Ole left.
Yeah, I didn't like
Barry Windham was in there.
It was all right.
Psycho Sid was in with them for
no Psycho Sid, no McMichael,
Mongo, and you had the other one that I liked though was I did like the Benoit Malenko when they were with him.
It was okay, but it still just it didn't compare.
Of course not. The original, watching that on Saturday nights on TBS, man, nothing better than these guys. And I would say save the Andy Kaufman business with Lawler that I watched after the fact, because there was no way to watch Mid-South. You'd only see it in Here's What Happened. Nothing beat the Four Horsemen, and they had all sorts of stuff too. They would do, I don't know if you recall, they used to do little vignettes where they'd be in the hotel or whatever, and
the private jet coming out of the limo.
Yeah.
The girls. Oh, dude, it was. So the other thing too, those guys on a mic together was just great because they're all these different personalities that just meshed so well together. I mean, again, this is the reason Evolution work is they literally took the Four Horsemen blueprint, and put it into effect, minus the J.J. Dillon character. So, man, it was cool, man. You know, one of the things for me, I've always wanted to be able to say I met all those guys, like the originals, which obviously Ole's gone. So for me, it was always tracking the rest of them down. I've gotten Tully and JJ. I had my chance to meet Rick. I didn't take it. Hopefully, I'll get another. And I just haven't had any moments where I've seen Arn. I was at a house show once and he was the producer and he was sitting over off to the side at the little booth where they were playing the music and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was him and Steamboat. This was in Rochester, by the way.
Oh, wow.
A few years back. And they were the producers. So like people are yelling at the matches and I realized they were sitting there and my seats were kind of the end of that row and then it was that area. So I could see him perfectly and I just started screaming the whole time like, yo, Steamboat! Hey, like just yet finally they like looked up. I was like, what's up? And they're like, hey. They kind of went back to what they were doing. Like kind of
running a show, asshole.
Like, who the hell is this asshole? But shut up, you dick. I was just like, yo, Steamboat, double A. Like I was just losing my mind because I didn't care. It was like some bum match that I was just like, remember, these guys are legends over here.
Yeah.
So these guys, I want to hang out with them. Man. It's just, yeah, dude, I love that stuff. The Horsemen and just I think they were like the first to come out with those great like vignettes, like you were saying. They were really put those on the map. Like that became a.
Well, I will say this.
They're the ones that I think that made it like perfect.
I will say this. I have seen vignettes from different promotions. Some done well, some not done as well. I don't know that they were the first. I don't think they were the first. I think they were the first to really storyline it.
You know, I think they're the ones that they put more of their storyline and they just produced a really well produced one. Yeah. Which, you know, being the faction they claim they were, it had to be. It couldn't be some crappy recording. It couldn't be some low budget thing. And that's what was very telling from them, which then I think you saw WCW, eventually WWE, get into more of these produced stuff because then you start looking at those early 90s and you're starting to see, you know, the Hogan and Roberts where they were or Macho and Roberts, and they're doing the interview with Macho by the pool. Just, whoa, you know, where you started seeing things move from just by the ring or backstage. Yeah. And I think the Horsemen were a group that really helped kind of usher that in of like, no. Hey, we talk a big game, but we're going to film it so you can see it. Right. This is our life. Which then it just, you know, it upped the wrestling game. So yeah, man, that's a hell of a list.
That was fun.
That's a hell of a list. Let us know what you guys think. Comment. Let us know. Get at us on Twitter at 2 Count. Yep. Number 2 COUNT. Facebook, the 2 Count podcast. So check it out. Let us know what you think. Your top.
We're in a lot of places, I tell you.
You can find us anywhere. Just search 2 Count.
Yeah.
That was a good one though. I enjoyed that.
It was fun.
Really did. Yeah. I do want to, you know, we said we'd mention some AEW stuff at the end here.
Yeah.
So, real quick, that tournament they have going, some pretty good matches.
Sorry.
You're good. And that Penta versus Ray match. The Lucha
Ray got hurt.
Lucha Ray, he got her. Yeah, concussion. It sounds like.
Yeah. So what I read was that they transferred it over to Penta. So it's going to be Penta and Omega, which is going to be.
I think I heard, was it Abaddon? Abaddon? Sorry.
Abaddon got
hurt. They pulled her match.
She got very hurt.
Yeah, because they stop it. So they pulled that off. I don't know. Was that supposed to air on Dynamite or Dark?
I think it was. So the way I understood it was going to be on Dark, and they were going to. I think it was Jericho that was saying that she was doing great, and they were going to move her up because she's just so different. This gimmick that she had going was like very cool because it's obviously she's kind of a zombie, kind of flesh eater, kind of whatever the hell she is. Right. And they were going to move her up, but unfortunately, like seems to happen, she got hurt. I mean, I heard that Chris Statlander didn't think she was going to be coming back this year.
Yeah, it's just more hits to that women's division over there.
Yeah,
already, like we've said, non-existent almost. And maybe that's why they put Sheeta on, but I don't think so. I feel like because that's the other thing. AEW, I do like you. I do love you. I'm a supporter. I am with you guys. I love all wrestling, but 14, 15 matches on a dark show. Come on.
Well, let's be honest. They may be just trying to gear themselves up to do this second show.
I think they are, but I think the problem they're starting to run into though now is I love that they are really supporting the independent scene. I love that they're bringing these people in to be extras and all that. But I also think they have signed enough people to legitimate contracts that use those people. You got a few people that are still showing up and doing these things, these extras that by now they should just be signed. So sign them as well. But I think you could put a hold on bringing anybody else new in for a little bit as far as like just because they're doing it at a time. It's like you see like 5 new indie people come in for like 2 weeks and then you don't see them anymore. And then you have some of these people that are on the indie scene that have been coming for months now, but still aren't signed. So it's like sign these people. You then will have this full roster. You can make up these 2 shows. But I mean, it's just you see some of these people and then you don't see them again, like Pineapple Pete.
Oh yeah,
gimmick with Jericho and he's gone. You know what I mean? You had Ryder there, and that was a short-term deal, and you didn't sign him to keep him any longer. He's gone. I do think that's partially on him. I think he has plans. I really do. I thought that the minute he was let go from WWE, that this guy has plans for the future. So even when he signed, it was like, but man, the other thing too is that's just a lot. It's a lot of matches, and it's like there's real no storyline.
Well, that's
too. Brandon and who is it? Avalon, the librarian.
Yeah.
Their little feud has actually been interesting.
Yeah.
And it kind of stinks that they're not even going to give their blow-off match a Dynamite slot. Like, why was that on tonight? That should have been on Dynamite. Those 2 worked hard for that.
Yeah.
But, I get it.
But that's the thing. Dark is almost like just an extended indie show.
And it really, really.
Because it's like if you go, you love the action, you love what they're doing. There's no real story to any of it.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, sign some of these people that should have been signed already that have been coming there for week on end. Stop bringing some of these newer people in that they're just not needed at this moment.
Yeah,
and maybe throw some storyline into some of these matches. That's the biggest thing is you claim you're going to do something and make it more sports feel, records count, and all that. Well, I get that that's what you want to do, but essentially you've pulled the storytelling away. We're not getting a lot of real true storylines, and that you get invested in a wrestling show because you got to feel it. You've got to buy it, be in it. And it's hard to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Football.
Yeah.
They don't need to talk. It's just your favorite team. You want them to win the championship.
Yeah.
But here, these people are personalities, they're characters. Part of the gig is they need to get on a mic and they need to tell that guy they're after why they deserve the title and why I'm going to beat you. And there needs to be that conflict, and there needs to be the hero, and there needs to be the villain. When you're trying to rely on just record and throwing matches together like some of these matches have been, you're taking all of that away, and that's wrestling. That's part of wrestling.
Right.
So again, I did enjoy stuff though. Those matches were great. The 4-way match was great. Poor Alex Reed.
Alex. No, I know who you're talking about because he got knocked out, right?
Ryan, maybe. I don't remember his last name.
Silver. It's Silver and what's his name, right?
I think it's Alex. I can't remember his last name.
But it's Alex. It's John Silver and Alex.
Yeah, that tag team. But he took a shot, man. And he claims that he's like, everything, like they handled it well and everything. I do know. I want to say it was Jimmy Corderas came out on his podcast and it was like, no, that is not, no. That referee should have done more to protect that guy.
Alex Reynolds.
There you go, Reynolds. And I agree too. I don't know. Did you watch it? Like, I really did think like he was in there for a good minute or two.
Oh yeah.
They were just walking over him. Like, they could have gotten him out of that ring.
Yeah.
The safety and been checking on him. It was interesting when they went off air. I don't know if you saw it. Cody and a bunch of people came out to check on him too. It was a little scary moment, man. But it was cool. It was a decent show as far as the action.
Right.
Eddie Kingston and Moxley, I'm all in.
Yeah.
It was just good. And again, we touched briefly on it, but I know it wasn't wrestling. I know it's what no one expected, and blah, 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 this is wrestling. Whatever. Just get over it. The MJF and the Chris Jericho musical thing, just let it be entertaining to you. Because at the end of the day, too, I love seeing people be like, I wonder why Tony Khan let that happen. And again, we've all talked about how the talent does get to have some creative process there.
Here's the thing. And I think you and I talked about this. Not everything that they do, they have creative freedom to a degree. Not everything they do is going to be a home run. Not everything The Rock did was a home run. The Rock did a bunch of shit, singing songs and stuff. I guarantee you, nobody that was bitching about Jericho and MJF thought that was crap.
You know what I thought was funny is so many people are like, if WWE did this, they would catch so much hell. And maybe so, because WWE does hold themselves to a higher standard than what AEW does. But also, does no one remember was it jump back or stand back? Stand back.
There's a hurricane coming through.
Song. Nobody remember the Coco Beware music video and all the guys at the work site, construction workers, all the wrestlers were construction workers for some goddamn reason.
How about what the hell was the
freaking Hogan's on the guitar on that?
Yeah.
Did like We Are the World, but wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's like those guys are the people you say built this business, and out of respect, they shouldn't have been doing what they did to respect to those guys.
That's bullshit.
Are you? How dumb?
That's just idiotic bullshit.
Admit what it is, and that is you just don't like AEW, and that is completely fine because it's your right. But there's no need to tear them down and say the things you guys say about it. Just don't like it then. But
hey, it's like everything, man. If you go to a movie, you're not going to like everything in the movie, right? If you don't like here, it's just so beautiful, right? Because it's like if Daniel Craig, some people think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond ever, and some people think he sucks. But guess what? If you don't like him, you don't watch him.
Yeah.
If you don't like him, but here's the thing: if you don't like him, yet you still go pay your money to watch him, you're the biggest sucker in the fucking place.
Oh yeah, it's true. I mean, it's the other one I saw that really kind of bothered me was so many people being like, I've just lost all respect for Chris Jericho and he's just fallen so hard. No one else realized he knows he's at the end of his run. He knows he has a couple years. He's going to hang up the boots. He's done everything in this industry. He's done everything. He's reached every height. He's worked with every major company. Why can't the guy just have some fun on his way out now? Why can't he enjoy these couple of years doing what he wants to do? And obviously he's a guy that he loves all different genres of music, kinds of movies. He likes to act. He likes to do some comedy stuff. He likes to do all these different things. He's a singer and he's in a band. Like, why can't the guy just do what he wants to do? And then on top of that, like, it wasn't horrible.
No.
Musically-wise, it wasn't horrible. We all know Jericho can sing. This is a different style, so it was a little rough. And I think what made it more rough for him is MJF's classically trained singer, so obviously he was rocking.
God, MJF is a way better singer than Jericho is. Way better.
Great. Which is so great because
it's
more into it.
Yeah,
like I'm actually excited to see what happens with this town hall tomorrow because I hope the overall reaction of Inner Circle is the same that all these crap fans had that were putting this all down and everything, and that's. Oh man, you had I just want to see Santana or Ortiz be like, y'all broke out in the song and dance. Dude,
who the one that's the one of the Inner Circle that's gonna bust out and be pissy first is gonna be Sammy.
Yeah.
And that's great. But see, people say, oh yeah, Jericho's fallen, but he hasn't. He's putting all those 4 guys that are with him. He's putting every one of them over. Mm-hmm. He's putting everybody that he works with over. He's building that promotion. You know,
he was their champ for a bit. He's not anymore. He knows that it's not his spot.
Yeah.
He's not the main eventer. He's not the title holder anymore. Career-wise, he knows that it's his job to put these new guys over, and he just wants to have fun doing it. Why can't that be? Let well alone be. You know, it's just let them have fun. And that's just it. Wrestling's supposed to be fun, everybody. We're supposed to enjoy whatever it is we watch. And yeah, Retribution's awful. Did I still laugh when Mia Yim did whatever the hell that was in the ring? Yeah, of course I laughed because it was awful and I hated it, but it was comical.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'll be the first to say, like, I don't need a musical number every time I watch my wrestling shows. But if they're going to do it every once in a great while like they did last week, all right.
It's not like they're doing it every week like Elias.
You know, yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean,
come on, man. You can't say that that's okay and what Jericho and MJF did.
Especially when the full concert he did last week was so horribly lip-synced.
Oh, yeah.
So horribly lip-synced. I mean, total Ashley Simpson's.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
So it was just like, come on, guys. Like, have fun with it. There's no need to attack any of these people. I saw someone today literally making fun of Jake Hagar when they were describing their AEW thoughts on Twitter. And it was just like, why are you making fun of this guy? First of all, you never made fun of him when he was Swagger. Second of all, are you in the ring doing what he's doing? No. You're sitting at home doing what I do, talk on a microphone and type on a keyboard. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not out there putting everything down with vicious, you know, name calling and just overall hate. I may say I don't like something, or I wish, like the women's match on Raw, that 4-way dance for the last spot on the Survivor Series team. I wish to God Peyton Royce would have won that. She should have.
You do too.
Looked the best in that match. Lana wins.
And here's the thing: the only reason that Lana won was so Nia could bust her through that table again, which actually I kind of think is hilarious.
I loved it. I mean, I said it on Twitter. I was like, at this point, if Nia Jax don't put Lana through a table, like, it'd be kind of rude.
I know.
Like, that's their thing now. So again, you can not like what's going on, wrestling fans, but the stuff I see people talk about and the way they just put things down, we're all better than that. And the other thing too is I've been seeing some stuff from the female talent posting things where male wrestling fans, guys, step your game up. Some of the things I'm seeing these female talents put out on their social media in the last few weeks is awful. It's awful. Just horrible things being said to these women for no goddamn reason. No goddamn. They work their asses off to put on a show, to be the best they can in the ring. They don't need to be degraded like the way some of these guys do, man. It's sad. Like, the world of wrestling fans at this point in 2020 is almost like the pandemic, man. It's just taking a drop and it's just weird and different now.
Yeah. Hopefully
things change, though. I want to say this, though. My last thing I want to say is, what the hell, man? Joey Ryan, stop suing everybody, man. You're finished. It's over. You're never coming back. Stop it.
You can't sue your good name back.
8 lawsuits, 7 lawsuits he has out, and now another thing came out. He's trying to put on other promotions matches that he's like his full matches from other promotions. He's been throwing them up on his YouTube this last week to monetize it, and he's getting caught by these promotions, and they're calling him out right now. Yo, Joey Ryan, go away.
Go get another job, dude.
It's over. You can't be a creep.
It's too bad. Although let's be honest, if your move is a dick flip, how classy a dude can you be?
Hey man, you peaked at All In.
Yeah, he really did.
You peaked at All In. You had the penis army.
Oh my gosh.
And then just to tie on to that, it was interesting to see that ROH basically relieved Marty Scurll of everything today. Like, he's done.
Oh, they did.
He's not even on the roster anymore on the websites. So definitely sounds like he's getting pulled. Although I did see he had some social media out today of like him and his dog, which I think is the first thing he's posted in a long time. So, you know, that one was weird because that one was kind of more personal.
Yeah.
Somebody that we knew.
Yeah.
So it's like weird. But man, again, guys, stop being creepers. Be like us, old and lonely, and just appreciate the talent.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Alexa Bliss is still hot as hell. I'm not gonna lie about it. But I'm not gonna go to her Twitter too and be like, man, you should just be out there naked and not even wrestle because you suck. I just want to see you naked. It's the only reason you're like, whoa, what is wrong with some people, man?
No, because they got nothing better to do.
Oh, it's so gross. It's so gross.
Oh man. Well, all right. So I have made this proposal because I'm an old man. I really kind of want to watch what happens with that election next Tuesday. I hope all of you that are watching to this point will go out and vote.
Do you think though, when we typically do our show at 8:00, would it's like, I feel like it's usually almost like midnight before the thing's called.
Before it's called, yeah, but they'll start getting stuff in. You know, I mean, they'll be, dude, literally, they'll start right after the local news.
I guess it's your call because I mean, I'm gonna go vote and whatever, but I don't have it in me to sit and watch that all night just because.
Dude, I will because I'm stupid.
It's gonna anger me.
I'll get angry. I hope I won't, but I'll get angry.
You know, the other thing, and we don't need to get into it because it's a whole politics spiel, but the whole thing is, it's just like this. I mean, not a lot's going to change.
No.
Hopefully, votes go one way so it can set up for better change in 4 more years. But let's be honest, this time next year, we're going to still all be sitting here like,
COVID,
riots, people just being loud and screaming, look at me with all the things they say. How about this? Let's end the show on this. Have you seen the new Borat film?
I did.
How is it? I have yet to watch it.
So parts of it I had already seen. I may have shared with you because somebody had a video of him of one portion of it.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah.
Singing, yeah.
They use a very small snippet of that.
That's funny because I even said that when we were watching. I was like, did they do this for the new movie?
Yeah. Initially, I did. We didn't know. Of course, they've got. You may or may not know this. They've got a segment where they pull some shit on Rudy Giuliani.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's been everywhere.
You saw that, right?
So, and I saw that one scene because obviously, as soon as the movie came out, that was on everything. Because in the news. So let me ask you your honest opinion watching it in the movie. What was Rudy Giuliani really thinking was going to happen?
I don't know.
Do you think he thought, like, was he getting ready for some action, or is it just tucking his shirt in?
Why the hell was he laying on the bed?
What I'm saying. I'm fat and I can still tuck my shirt in without having to go.
I don't need to lay down on the bed to do anything but lay down on the bed.
And the creepy touch when he asked for her number and address.
Oh yeah.
And 2 hands, even if I do lay down on my back to tuck in, one's holding my pants up while I'm tucking in.
Yep.
Hands in the crotchal area.
Yeah. Rudy is a gigantic. I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but man, that was. Let's put it this way: wrestlers have been excommunicated from the business for less than that. Yeah. I mean, Sammy Guevara almost lost his career for way less. Yeah. It's like R-Truth used to say, man. Rudy Giuliani got.
Yep.
Damn it. It is what it is, man. Poor guy, but you want to be a creeper. This is what happens, I guess. So
well, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Let's plan on doing a shortened version next week. Because I do still want to do it.
I'm good either way. So you make the call and we do it.
Okay.
You know what we could do?
Tell me.
We could just do a top 3 list, and we won't do anything else but the list at the show.
Let's do that. Let's do top 3 celebrities since one of them's running for president.
So what are we doing? Haven't we done that before though?
No, I don't think. Oh yeah, we did. We did.
McAfee.
You're right. So we won't do that.
Are there enough wrestlers turned politicians that we can make a list out of it? I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Of them. Weren't we supposed to do our top Hell in the Cells matches?
Yeah, we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do that last week.
Yeah, I feel like it's not worth doing now.
No,
we should save that for next week. So, I've been seeing this one lately, and But maybe we should save that too. I was gonna say top Survivor Series teams as we have that coming up. Yeah, man.
Let's save that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess I'm not 100% positive what our list should be. If anybody's watching right now, throw an idea out in the comment section real quick, and maybe that'll be our top 3 list for next week.
Have we ever done the top worst gimmicks?
No, I think that's let's do that.
Let's do worst gimmicks, because clearly next week on Tuesday there's going to be some bad gimmick going on one way or the other.
Yeah, that would be a good call too, because the only other time I think that would be appropriate would be when we would do the Survivor Series show, because they're on the same time. Because what's one of the all-time worst gimmicks? There it is. I love that egg. So yeah, man.
Oh my God.
I love hearing the story now of, was it Taker who thought he was going to have to debut in that egg?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because when they called him to discuss the gimmick of the Undertaker, it was around the same time as they were teasing the egg. Because actually, yeah, that was the same Survivor Series he debuted, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You're right. Hey, Luke, how you doing, buddy?
So yeah, I almost want to say that
we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're going to do a list next week. We talk about all different sorts of wrestling stuff. We did a list of our top factions of all time, and since I'm old and he's kind of old, they run the gamut. But we're talking right now about doing the worst gimmicks ever.
Right, yeah. We were just talking about the gobbledygooker, if you remember that.
Gobbledygooker, and I think it was one of the Guerreros that was stuck inside that suit.
Yeah, I think so.
Like Chavo Senior, maybe.
I think so.
Or Hector.
One of them, yeah. But yeah, I think it was in The Last Ride, one of those episodes. If you watch, he talks about how he became Undertaker, and they were teasing this egg at Survivor Series, and he got the call, and he was worried that they were going to be like, "You're going to come out of the egg." Like, God damn it, I want to be this Eggman. And it wasn't. So
sucky. Right.
He came out and cleaned house and became the Phenom.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, there it is. We'll do that next week. And
short show. Join us Election Day.
Absolutely. And make sure you go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just go vote. Make sure you exercise your right as a citizen of the United States, if that's indeed where you live.
Yeah, and if you're going to the actual polls next week, just be kind, respect, and just let everybody go and do their thing, do their vote. There's no need for anything crazy and people to just badger other people. Like, do your part, go vote, and let's just pray that we can all come together and be a better country and world.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, we're going off. We usually start at about 8:00 Central Time, and usually go about an hour and 15, hour and 15, something like that.
Yes, sir.
So if you're having interest, hop on with us. We do it once a week on Tuesdays, and we'd love to see you with us. Next week we'll do a shorter show because as an old man, I got to watch the election.
Election day, yeah, definitely.
I have to watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I was trained.
I get it. We knew some other people who would like throw parties for the election day. Yeah, man. And then also, everybody watching, check out my other show. Me and Wes Briscoe of TNA's Aces and Eights. We got our show, the Briscoe and Big Ace Show. We just did an episode on Thursday. Find it on our YouTube or Facebook page. We've announced on that show we're going bi-weekly, so you can officially count every other week or every 2 weeks. We're giving you a Briscoe and Big Ace show. It's no
nice.
Left to question. So, so next week there will be no show, but we'll have some stuff still online. Check it out, and past episodes, check it out. But yeah, me and Wes Briscoe on the Briscoe and Big Ace show. And we're working on some cool guests too. I know we're working on bringing Papa Briscoe, Mr. Jerry Briscoe, next time. So
absolutely, we'd be happy to have you, Luke. And then Thursdays, 10:00 until 1. I am on with my friend comedian Corey Adam on Twitch Talk. Twitch TOK. We're on there for 3 hours. We sometimes talk about wrestling, but most of the time we screw around for 3 hours, talk about what's going on in the world, and we'd love to see you there too.
Yeah, one of these days I want to come on there with you guys when I actually am not working on a Thursday at 1.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
We'd love to have you. I'm sure.
Yeah, man. And we'll have to bring Corey back on here then. It was fun when he's on.
It's great when he's on. He knows his shit. He absolutely knows his shit. So, anyway, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Luke.
It's an early show. It's an early.
It's an early show. I have to get up early.
Daytime.
I have to get up early at 10 o'clock.
You set your alarm for that show.
Yeah, I do. So shut up.
A
Anyway,
lot of things.
well, I have on my phone. I have like 7 alarms.
Nice.
Well, yeah, because one's just to make sure I don't pee my pants. And one's to.
I feel like adult diapers might be just the better way to go for you if you have to set an alarm.
I'm not doing that. Anyway, all right, Luke and Chris and Corey and everybody that was watching tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate it very, very much. Again, take care of yourself. You're going to go out and vote next week. Please be safe, be kind, but make sure you do it. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.